Hi, everyone. Coach Jackie here. And today we're going to awaken and unleash your inner champion for 2024. I'm so glad that you're joining me on this video, and you will have the opportunity to pause and work through the exercises at your leisure. So, last December 2022, I set this intention of injecting more fun and joy into my life. Now, that was my strategic goal focus. I put it on there. And in April of 2023, my partner and I received this email from our local theater playhouse. And it was an invitation to join a free workshop on improv. Now, I don't know about you, but I love improv. Whose Line Is It Anyway? I've seen that show many times. I've gone to live performances and just loved it. Now, never thought I would ever do it. So we went to this one free workshop. This one free workshop cascaded into becoming part of the improv troupe, a newly created improv troupe in our area. We actually performed in October of 2023 live in front of about 100 people. And I met this amazing community of wonderful people. Uh, and when I was doing the improv, I realized I didn't even know I was missing this, but I was missing it. Now, here's the interesting piece. I did not write on my goal that I was going to join an improv troupe and perform live in 2023. What I did was I set an intention that I wanted to inject more fun and joy into my life. And this is what is the magic of really this kind of work. It's that when we set those intentions, our brain starts to find the evidence to create it. So, someone said something really brilliant the other day, and he said, change is inevitable. Growth is not. We have to be open to it. So I want to invite you to not work in a world of walls. Let's work in a world where there are doors, possibilities, and opportunities in abundance. So let's get started. This is a goal setting workshop, and it's so much more than that. It's really about you dialing up about who you already are and awakening and unleashing your inner champion. So let's get started. We have an ambitious agenda today. I want to walk you through. My goal is that you will walk away with identifying 2 to 3 personal and/or professional goals and intentions that you are jazzed up and have meaning, have that are meaningful to you. So again, these are intentions about what we want to dial up about ourselves, who we want to be, what do we want to be more of and become more of, and really tapping into your inner essences. But before we kick off, I just want to do a little grounding exercise. So please close your eyes. And what I'd like you to do is actually feel your body, the weight of your body in your seat. Feel your back against the back of the chair, your body in the seat, your arms, your elbows, and your hands wherever they are resting. Feeling your feet on the ground, wiggling your toes just to experience your toes. And start to take in a few deep breaths. Hold your breath at the top for 4 seconds. And as you exhale deeply, hold it at the bottom for 4 seconds. And repeat that. and return to your natural breath, the natural rhythm of your breath, and place your hand on your belly and feel the rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. And when you are ready, please open your eyes. And we're going to try as much as possible to be as present, as centered, as grounded as we can during this process. So I want you to clear your space from distractions. If you can, turn off your phone or silence your phone. Try to clear your space. So, really, what you have in front of you is something to write on, write with, whether it's your computer, your notebook, your crayons, whatever it is that works for you. And what I'd like for you to do is actually take a few moments and reflect on 2023. Now, I know that feels like a distant time away, right? We're already in the second week of January. It feels like 2023 was a long time ago. But what I want you to do is really reflect on these questions. Take a few moments and you may pause the video. I want you to think about what were you most proud of or are the most proud of what you achieved or accomplished in 2023? And I want to be clear, it doesn't have to be a big major win. It could be something that was a micro win, a small win. What were some of the wisest decisions that you made in 2023? What were the biggest risks you took? Jackie, performing live in front of 100 people for improv, that was a risk that paid off in wonderful dividends. Where did you finally accept reality? What things did you really finally come to accept? How did you open your heart more? And what did you learn? And just take a little bit of time to really process and reflect on 2023 and really look at what stood out from that year. And pat yourself, hug yourself, celebrate all the things, all the work that you have done over the course of the last year. Wonderful. I bet they're amazing things. And feel free to reach out and let me know some of the things that you came up with. So, now what we're going to do is really look at the process of starting to set our goals. And the way that I think about setting our goals, it's almost like how you use a GPS. Now, all of us know what GPSs are. And really, our GPS asks us two questions. They ask us, where are we starting and where are we going? And if we don't have those 2 points of destination identified, we are, kind of aimlessly meandering, right? And the same thing could happen in our lives, in our careers, that we don't put those points of destination. So we're constantly kind of meandering through those areas of our lives. And so, what I want us to start doing in this exercise is really to identify where are we starting and where are we going. I don't want you to think about the how. Don't worry about how you're going to get there. Right now, it's about where we're starting at. So, what I'd like for you to do is I want you to look at this slide and I want you to look at all these different areas: creative spirit, financial status, our business and career, our environment, recreation, spirituality, our relationships with significant others as well, our health and fitness, our relationships with family and friends, and even community. our sense of personal growth. And I want you to create this wheel, draw the wheel, or if you would like, please email me, Jackie at coachjackieross.com, and I will send you a template. And what I want you to do is I want you to review each of these different areas. And right now, right at this moment, I want you to identify how satisfied you feel in that area of your life. 10 being most satisfied, 1 being the least satisfied. So, again, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to indicate your level of satisfaction with each area. And this is personal. No one is going to indicate whether you're off or on. This is strictly your self assessment, your sense of self satisfaction in each of these areas. And please interpret the areas as you like. For me, creative spirit is not just something that is like about artwork. It's where I'm able to tap into my creative energies in the way that Jackie is creative, which is different than how you are creative or other people are creative, and how much levels of satisfaction and fulfillment do I feel like I'm really tapping into those creative energies and creative spirits. So please define these areas in the ways that you would define them. So I'll give you an example. Personally, I gave myself this year a 4 on creative spirit. And I recognize that I tapped into this doing improv last year, and I feel really good about that. So that's just an example. So pause the video, take some time to really evaluate um, where you land on these wheels. And I'm going to show you the next slide as well. It is also if you are an entrepreneur. So here's an entrepreneurial wheel of life that you could do as well. They have areas like administration and financial management, your level of professional development, networking, marketing and branding, tech and innovation, time energy management, sales and revenue, client acquisition and retention, your product lines and services development, and client feedback. So, as an entrepreneur, I actually did both of these wheels. The wheel of life that I showed before on the previous slide, and an entrepreneurial wheel of life. So pause the video, take some time, do what's relevant for you, and then we're going to continue with the next steps. Welcome back. I'm sure your wheels are extremely interesting, and most of them don't look like a perfect wheel. Like we don't have this full circular, a lot of our wheels look jagged, and that's totally okay. What I'd like you to do next is I want you to think about this time next year. This time next year, where do you want to be on each of these areas on your wheel or your wheels? Let's say you were at a 4, so I was at a 4 for creative spirit. I know that I wanted to dial it up to a 6. That would be really good, that this time next year that I could confidently be at a 6. So revisit all of the areas again and indicate, where do you want to be a year from now? What would be happening in order for you to feel really good about your results? What number would that look like? Perfect. So, what is also really incredibly helpful is to actually indicate for each of your responses what factors contribute to this. So, for example, when you indicated where you are feeling right now, what are some of the key things that are contributing to what awarded you the number that you gave yourself. So I would also like you to go around and indicate what are the factors, what are contributing areas about why you landed on those particular numbers. So please pause the video, work on those assignments, and when you're done and that's complete, we'll return back to the next steps. Thank you for coming back and joining me. I hope you're enjoying this process. You can also do things like turn on some light music, add some, kind of I guess, a spirit and energy that's uplifting for you during this whole process. So at this point, you should have your wheel or your wheels completed with your current level of satisfaction, where you would like to be a year from now, and also indicating the contributing factors about why you landed where you did at the moment. So we could put this aside just for a bit. And for those of you that know me well, you know I love Tony Robbins, and here is a quote that he wrote that I think is really pretty powerful. Tony Robbins says the strongest force in the human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. And here's the interesting thing, even when that identity is negative, we stay consistent with how we define ourselves. So I bet you have intentions and goals that you've already been thinking about for 2024. And I also bet that you've had similar goals previously. Like me, I've had those, a lot of my goals have been similar as well. Now, why do most goals fail? So we know this time, it's January 16th today. This is statistically the date that 92% of New Year's goals fail. Any ideas why? Any thoughts, ideas? I know we can't hear each other, but I want you to think about it. What may be some of the reasons that your goals have gone to the wayside? Well, largely, it's about how we identify ourselves, and our identities can be really limiting. Our beliefs about who we are can color and create boundaries about how we live our lives. So, we all have limiting beliefs and identities. There is no one that is exempt from this. And there's a part of it that becomes a dream killer. Now, I know my dream killer shows up by shooting low, right? There's so many other people out there that are better than me. What makes me think that I'm great? It also tells me that I can handle things on my own. I don't need anybody. And I have a hard time, Coach Jackie, has a hard time asking for help from others. So tell me or write down, what is your dream killer? What is the part of you that kills dreams? What characteristics does your dream killer possess? And how does your dream killer show up? Do any of you know your name of your dream killer? Some people have identified their names, or those inner critics that get in the way and tell you who you are, who you can be, etc. So, as a mental fitness coach through positive intelligence, I use the term saboteurs. And so, whether you call it your dream killer, your inner critics, your saboteurs, they can limit our identity, and they can either serve us to get closer to where we want to be, or it could lie to us and keep us in this, what it defines as a safe or comfortable place that's more predictable, but actually detracts and takes away from us achieving our goals and our dreams. Now, to seize and capture what it is that we want, we need to embody the true essence of who we are, not to become someone that we're not, but to really tap into and dial up and expand and empower our identity. So we need to start practicing our empowered identity. So I want you to start thinking about a time when you were in your flow. Things were seamless. You were just moving naturally. You were doing what was innate, and it felt amazing. I want you to reflect on what were you doing? Who were you with? Now tell me about that person. What were you like, or what are you like? What characteristics did you embody? What was their name? Who are you really? And do you want to move into 2024 with your limited identity, or do you want to kind of engage in 2024 in your expanded and empowered identity? How would 2024 be different if you embodied more of your expanded, empowered identity? What could you achieve? Limitless. It's amazing. So I want to read you this poem by Marianne Williamson. It's called Our Deepest Fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Who asks ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Love that. So let's take out our wheels and our notes, and I want us to kind of circle back to that. Here's what I'd love for you to do. I want you to look at your wheels, and I want you to circle the top areas that you want to focus on in 2024. Now, I know you might feel compelled to work on all of these areas. And over the course of the year, you may. However, when we set our intentions, that's what our brain focuses on. So I want you to pick the areas that seem to kind of be shouting out, tapping at your shoulder at you. And what I want you to do is I want you to identify a few of these areas, and I want you to take each one and I want you to say, this time next year, what would be happening in this area so that you would feel really good about your results and outcomes? Again, I want you to pick your top areas. I usually recommend 2 to 3, but this is your year. This is your goal setting. Pick the ones that stand out the most. And for each of them, I want you to write down what would be happening this time next year in order for you to feel really good about your results. You could draw a picture, you can write a statement, whatever it is that works for you, I'd like you to do that. So pause the video if you need to do so in order to do that exercise. Welcome back. Now, what I'd like you to do is for each of those areas, I want you to write a statement. I want you to write a statement about how achieving and focusing on this area will serve you. How will it benefit you? How will it benefit the other people that are most meaningful in your life, that are most important in your world? What would happen if you didn't focus on this? What would it cost you? So I want you to spend some time on really focusing on the why. You've identified the what. I want you to identify the why because purpose is stronger than outcome. Another Tony Robbins quote. Purpose is stronger than outcome. The purpose of the goals is not to get the things, it is what it will make of you as a person. The accumulation of things is not going to make you happy. When you set a goal, you must know why you are doing it. It is who you become in the process. So the why becomes critically important. So if you have to pause the video, please do so. And for each of your areas, I want you to write a compelling and strong purpose about why this goal is important to you, how it will serve you, how it will serve the people in your world, and I want you to focus on that. So pause the video if you need to. Take some time to focus on that area. I'm right behind you. You're doing great so far. Excellent. So now you've identified the areas of focus, what you want to work on. You've identified what would be happening a year from now in order for you to feel really great about your results. And you identified what is going to be a compelling reason and purpose for you to fulfill those areas. Awesome. You are on your way. Now, I'm not trying to burst any bubbles, but it's kind of time for a little bit of the bad news. So I want you to consider these statistics from Dreammaker 2022. And this is on goal setting. And we talked about this a little bit earlier on, but here are some statistics around goal setting. 83% of the world's population do not set goals. They do not have goals. It's a pretty big number. 14% have a plan in their head, but their goals are not written down. 3% have written goals, and 92% of people who set their New Year's resolutions never achieve them. I know these statistics are a little bit discouraging, but I want you to remember that goal setting is a process, and even small steps, micro goals, chunking your actionable steps to get to your goals can lead to significant results. So don't be discouraged, okay? If you don't achieve your goals overnight, because you're not. Keep at it and you're eventually going to get there. Here is what we know about goal setting. This is what the research says about goal setting and achieving your goals. So I want you to really pay attention about what are the key areas around being successful at getting to your destination. First, and this is, you've already done this, right? In other words, you have to write down your goals. This helps to solidify your intentions. You've already done that. You've written down your goals. They say that those who write down their goals are 20% more likely to achieve them than those who don't. Okay, let's keep the momentum. Let's keep the what the research has proven, the empirical data has proven about how we can be most successful. Second, forming a support network is essential for goal success. We need people to encourage us and keep us on track and help to encourage them to keep them on track. So here's what the statistics are, that encouraging your peers, when you do that, you tend to do 40% better than those who did not. That's good statistics. The third area that's critical around goal setting is that committing to action steps and support by your network allows for the best chance of goal attainment. So, here is something that I always highly encourage people to do, and I'm inviting you to do the same. Never leave a goal setting discussion, workshop without doing something that acts upon that goal in the next, short period of time, like 12 to 24 hours. It gives you the momentum. So write down right now next to your goals, I want you to write down something for one or two of them that you could do immediately toward movement in that goal. Something that you can do in the next 12 to 24 hours. So, for example, if your goal was to take a class, right? I don't know, a photography class, a gym class, whatever kind of class it is, dance or yoga. I want you in the next 12 to 24 hours, as an example, research classes, get some information. The next kind of micro step is to make an appointment to go. Don't put it off. So, what we know cognitively is that we can, have this knowledge about what we want to do, but we have to put that knowledge and that intention into motion. We have to move on that intention. So, when are you going to make the commitment and when are you going to initiate that? So, I really want you to be clear about what you're going to do that's a single action that you could do right away. Make today a massive action day. Do not leave the sight of a goal and not take some type of action to make it a reality. Awesome. Cannot wait to hear what those are. So, another thing that I, enjoyed, I'm kind of a goal setting nerd. Like I love geeking out to goal setting. This stuff is like FUN fun to me. And one of the things that I did was I actually picked a word to symbolize and define my 2024. It's good to have a mantra. A word that signifies your focus can be so powerful. So, what word captures you for 2024? Mine I landed on is curious. I want to learn and be habitually curious. That's what I want. That's my word for 2024. What's yours? Take a few moments and think about. You could look at your wheel, you could look at the work that you've done so far and pick something that's really going to signify your mantra and kind of cue you in for taking action in 2024. Awesome. Can't wait to hear what you come up with. So here are some next steps. Work on crafting your goals and writing them down. Identify those 2 to 3 goals, personal and or professional. And step 2, set up a session with me to review them. If you're stuck on how to articulate and speak to them, please feel free to reach out, schedule a session. I would love to hear the work that you've done so far, the areas that you want to focus on. And then step number 3 is crush your goals. So important is that oftentimes goals can feel daunting and overwhelming. And what I want you to really be thinking about is micro steps, micro actionable steps, chunking out where it is that you want to go. Setting goals is the first step toward turning the invisible into the visible by Tony Robbins. The next thing is actually putting them into motion. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was a helpful process. Please feel free to reach out if you want the templates for the wheel. Please reach out if you want to discuss the areas that you identified today. And please reach out if you want to set up a coaching session to really formulate 2023. 2024. Thank you for reminding me. So I want you to awaken and unleash 2024 for you and really make this year a magical year that you step into your true essence. Thank you so much for joining me. Coach Jackie signing off and have a great and wonderful day.